beautifuls. Okay, welcome. I just wanted to come on here on an impromptu live, so I hope you're all well. If this is your first time seeing me here, welcome. My name is Ling. I am a ceremonial keeper of Cha Dao, or also known as the Way of Tea. I work with tea as a medicine and sacred spirit, and I am also a sacred transformation mentor, and my mission is to help at least 10 women every month to live on purpose in their authentic power. You know, I wanted to come on here to share a little bit of something that has been happening in my life, and also something that I took on to walk away with a massive lesson. And today I just really felt inclined to share, and also just kind of throw back to a time when, oh gosh, when I was so lost in my life, and that I had no idea, no freaking clue who I was, what I was meant to be doing, and always pretty much questioning my existence, what love is, and how to love and how to receive love. And I think a lot of you here can probably relate to that on some level, whether you have journeyed upon your own awakening, or whether you have not even journeyed upon that space, into that space deep enough to really elicit the light in that darkness. Because it is true, we do have that flame, that beautiful blue flame that comes through the dark waters. Yeah, I always describe it that way because in my pilgrimage, I always work with women in the space where we meet her dark goddess. And that dark goddess is always presiding over some of the deep unconscious and psyche that is running the subconscious dissonance in your body. Hello Melissa, welcome beautiful. Please do share what's happening with you. You know this is a safe space. If you don't feel comfortable sharing in the comments, just DM me. I'd love to hear what's happening with you and be able to support you in any way possible. So I wanted to share with you something really intimate. Over the past weekend, I actually walked away from one of the biggest, well, I would say biggest, well, one of the biggest. I wouldn't say in terms of number, it wasn't the biggest investment, but it was an investment that I made for the past 6 months, and that I made under the presumption that it would last me a lifetime. And when I look back and think of the time when I jumped in, it was a full-hearted yes. It was a sacral yes for me, because I have a sacral authority, if you're familiar with human design. And after 6 months, I made the decision to walk away. I walked away with lots of love. I walked away with this real peace. Actually, there wasn't any resentment or anything like that. It was really something that felt right. And I also kind of shared that a little bit in yesterday's post, because what was interesting for me is when I made that investment in terms of time, in terms of money, I had a full-hearted yes. It was a huge fuck yes. And it felt really sacred. It felt like I made a difference doing this. And in doing so, it also alchemized a lot of my, back in the time that I did it, was a lot of that alchemized was my sisterhood wounds. I was able to find a beautiful network of beautiful women that I could share my dreams and my hopes. When I made the decision to walk away this past weekend, the feeling I had, I felt the charge of, you know, what would happen when I do walk away, because I've spent so much money and time in this. When I went into the meeting where we were trying to set the ground rules and restructure and redesign the whole system, it felt like a yes. It felt like a really beautiful yes of, yes, I'm excited. I'm so excited about the new beginnings. I wonder what will come of this. I wonder if it will work even better than it did before. I was lit up. I came away feeling, yes, I'm ready to step into this again, recommit. And then the next day, I realized that what was now to me the energy of a surrogate. It was a surrogated energy of someone who came in to make peace on behalf of everyone. Didn't really feel authentic to me. And I decided that because of how I was feeling, despite all the efforts, I would need to walk away. And this was a huge lesson. It's a massive lesson for me, and I'm so grateful for it. I wonder, and I think I kind of know already the answer to this. I wondered at that time if this is the lesson I was meant to learn. For what I put in, I wasn't afraid to walk away, despite what I put in. And this is something I really wanted to share because I know there are so many women out there who have invested in their relationship, invested in, I don't know, like business or whatever it is that you put in, time, relationship, money. And because of what you have sacrificed or contributed, you are afraid to walk away from that. Even though you know that it's not lighting you up anymore to stay where you are. And this could even be something that is not an obvious investment, really. It can really just be as simple as something that you perhaps have been surrounded with for a long time, and that maybe when you started, it felt really right for you, and then further down the line, you start to see that, oh, I'm kind of out of alignment from this already, or that I'm growing bigger than this, or that I want to be bigger than this, and yet there is something holding you back, whether it is other people's judgment or other people's expectations or what other people will think of you. The fear of ostracization and abandonment wounds are hugely real things for people in that situation. And I am also human, you know. I have felt all those things before. The fear of ostracization was really real for me, including abandonment wounds, and I've grown up with those wounds for all my life. And so for me to come here to speak to you and share the decision I made, it's huge because I realized that maybe, and I think I already know this answer, as I said, all of those things that had to happen for me to sit here with peace and tranquility and calmness and stillness and say to you that I rose out of this, what could have been seen as a chaos or a breakdown, and I actually walked away and say that wasn't a breakdown at all. That happened in love, with love, and really it probably had to happen. It had to happen for us to grow wiser, for us to understand that money isn't everything, especially for me. You know, I have many years of struggling with my money wounds, struggling with scarcity mindset, struggling with victimhood mentality. Many, many years of that. Until I really come into the full embodiment of who I really am. And even when I say full embodiment, I'm saying it in a way where at that time it was full. But I know there's so much more room for new things to come. And there will be more work to embody and more work to embody more and more. And the cycle goes on and spiraling all the way until I take my last breath. And so when I come into this space and I share, I really want to just say, this is my truth. And what you walk away with, my truth, is really up to you. But what I really hope you do is you open up yourself with curiosity and understand that this isn't the end, whatever this is, right? Whether it's a relationship that is breaking down, or a business that is floundering, or something that feels like it's coming to an end for you, it's not the end. It's only the beginning. And you must choose to have it that way. Because ultimately, yes, there is more of you to come in. There is more of your magnificence to flow in through you. There is more magnificence to be created by you as the creatrix. But if there is one thing I can tell you, there is free will. And you can decide at every moment it asks you to decide. You can decide not to do it. You can decide not to take this as a lesson. You can decide to take this and lie down and stay a victim for a while and until you hit rock bottom. And one thing I really love to say all the time is that the rock bottom doesn't have to happen. Rock bottom happens because we have been waiting in the wings for far too long. We think that we need to wait for the right moment. Really though, I'm sorry, but I think it's procrastination. You're procrastinating your ability to start creating the life you are born to have, the life you've always dreamt of having. That's all it is. That's what rock bottom is. And yeah, some people do need to hit rock bottom to finally make a change in their lives. I definitely did. I went through a tough 10 years of anorexia and still it wasn't enough until I had like a big thyroid bulging out of my chin. And that was the moment I looked at the mirror and I was like, do I want to look like that forever? And do I want to feel unhealthy like that forever and fear food forever? Do I want to live alone and building this fortress around my heart forever like this? I answered no. And I made a solid decision at that time to go full on into my recovery. Full on into being unapologetic about the food I eat, who I am, what I wear. And still it was a journey. It was a huge journey in terms of discovering who I was, because I was bumbling about. I was trying to make sense of my life. And Karen, hello, beauty. Yeah, I think we are all really, really feeling this, isn't it? And it was a journey for me because I didn't have the support I needed. I didn't reach out. I was afraid. I was still mired in my scarcity mindset. And I was so afraid to invest into relationships, to give my heart away, to allow myself to receive love even, right? Until again, I went rock bottom again. When, going through the time when I went into full recovery and then just really hating how I looked because I was bloating up so much from recovering from eating disorders, and then just going all in and eating whatever I wanted to eat, as much as I wanted. And then my body started to reshape and reprogram and redesign itself and recalibrate because it started to trust in me again, that I'm feeding it well and I'm going to feed it. And I remember my mantra, anything I feared, I'm going to eat it. And that was how I healed. And once that gateway was crossed, like I crossed that threshold, the next level was, can I open myself up to relationships? And I had to melt away the fortress around my heart, let in new friends, let in new men into my life. And by God, I met some really shitty men. I really did. And I had my heart broken over and over and over again. Meeting men who just didn't appreciate my uniqueness, who didn't appreciate that I gave my heart in every single relationship. To the point where I hit rock bottom again and I was like, okay, look, I need to get really specific about the kind of relationship I want to be in. And so I wrote down every single thing, from the person I want to meet, how he would look like, to how he would make me feel and how he would treat me. And I still remember this. In my journal, I wrote, he's going to treat me like a queen. He will love me as I am. Whatever it is, he will respect who I am. And 2 weeks later, I manifested who would become my husband. And it was one of the easiest relationships ever. There wasn't a single moment when he would say to me, I don't know how this would work. And we had like a 2-year long distance relationship. Is it a perfect relationship? No. We have to work through things, but we are working through it. And every time we hit a wall, it's a lesson for me to grow. Man, like being with him in this relationship, he's seen me in times when I was in my scarcity mentality to really rising as the Siren Goddess. Like he calls me the Siren Goddess every day. He's like, who's the queen? Who's the rich? He will be the one telling me that in reflection when I'm in that hole, that dark hole. And in return, I will be reflecting back to him how I feel that he could be a healthier version, right? He's by no means perfect. But here's the thing, we're on this journey together. And our soul mission is to align with what feels good. And I know deep in my heart that if there is a time that asks me to walk away, I will honor that too. That is what makes life so fully lived. That is what I believe. I am asking you to take this with curiosity, obviously. Nothing I say here is right. Nothing I say here is even wrong. Just get curious, right? That's all I ask of you. And so coming back to what I was talking about, when I decided to walk away from this investment I made, some people were very sorry to see me do this. Some people were hurt. Some people were shocked even. But most of them really understood. They were like, okay, that is something huge. That your ability to do that, that's huge. And yeah, it was huge because I learned that I can walk away from a huge investment, like a lifetime investment that I thought was for life. I can walk away from that because it's not worth it to stay in something that is already stagnant, that where the work is not being done, right? Whatever it is, I honestly think that disintegration is not a bad thing. Maybe in the moment, yeah, I probably had a human moment. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. But ultimately, we have a choice. Walk away from the disintegration. Let it go. And here's the thing, my love. If you're having difficulty really feeling like, oh gosh, I want to surrender, I want to let go, but it's so hard, I just want you to know that the reason you can't feel it is because your body doesn't have the capacity to hold that vibration. That's all it is. And you're going to probably ask me, okay, so how do I calibrate that capacity, right? The work that I teach my clients is to really calibrate their bodies, to get back in touch in integrity with their bodies so that the mind can find and follow you. So that you know that you have a mind, but you're not the mind, and you are the soul. Now that sounds really big and almost like formless, right? So I'm going to break it down. I'm bringing it down really easy for you to understand. Whenever you have all these higher vibrational frequencies coming in, that is like AKA your up level. Yeah, for you to have a higher state of consciousness, for you to feel more at peace with disintegration, with letting go, with surrender, with the void, with the unknown. To do that, you have to allow the higher level frequencies to come into your body. And your work is to create this energy circuit in your body that will be able to handle that level of frequency. How we do that, if you're interested, we can absolutely chat. You can book in for a free sacred transformation call. I'm happy to chat with you about this. I also have a 2-day embodied experience coming up. So I'll be deep diving into this, you have to register in order to join me on Zoom. But if you can't come on live, the replays will be up as well. I just want you to take this away with you today, because it's really time that we stop holding on to things that are already gone, that are already dead, because the longer you hold on to it, the longer it will take for you to get to your next level. And if you're telling me, oh, I don't want to go for the next level anyway, I don't even know where I'm going from here, then you need clarity. You need that support. You need that mentorship, because, oh my God, of course you can figure it out. I have no doubt you can. You are intelligent. You are amazing. You are a divine woman. But with mentorship, A, you don't have to hit rock bottom. And B, you're flying on the wings of someone who's already done it. And yes, ultimately, it's up to you whether you want to take that advice, whether you want to go with that support, whether you want to be led or guided. Even women who sign up for mentorships with me, I would just say, I'm here to guide you. I'm here to mentor you. I invite you to do this. It's up to you, though, for you to devote yourself to this path, for you to create this practice, for you to solidify and anchor in this higher vibrational frequency so that you can go on and live on purpose in your authentic power. Not hanging on to something that is abusive or shameful or embarrassing just because you're so afraid of being ostracized or abandoned. That fear is real. I hold you to it. I hold space for it. I've been there. I've done it. I've seen it. I've felt it. I know how it feels. But my love, it's time for you to alchemize that. It's absolutely time to come back to your wholeness. And to feel your wholeness, you have to have the capacity to do that. Support is so vital in this stage. So vital. And I'm here for that. So if you want to chat, DM me, comment, book a sacred transformation call. I can drop the link here in the comment section if that's something you're interested in. Reach out. Just feeling in and see if there's anything I've missed. Just a transmission that came through, so I'm just going with the flow. I think that's it. I think that's really it. Okay, my loves, things can change very quickly when you allow it to, so don't wait. Big kisses, blessings. You're so divine. It's all available for you. Be free. Be you. So much love.